from the Toronto Eagles, right in front. Bang, he shoots it down right to the top of the square here at Optus Oval. Back of the pack. A terrific mark. Canada are well in control in the early part of the second quarter. And Dimakakos, another player from the Toronto Eagles, sat back and took a very, very strong mark at the back of the pack. As you can see, the man on the mark is right on the edge of the goal square. Dimakakos now, in he comes, lets one rip. That'll be another goal to the Canadian side. They go along now to 2-2-14. Samoa yet to score, and we're at the 2-minute mark of the second quarter.
Yeah, they've got a very simple game plan, the Canadians, Bob. They look to pump the ball in long to the top of the square where they've got the big boys in Dimakakos and Van Gelder. And why wouldn't you kick it long, Bob, when you've got those two behemoths trolling the goal square for Canada?
And Canada just seem a little bit quicker over the ground to me, Steve. I don't know. What's your thought?
Well, the Samoans haven't got their game going. As I said, they've impressed me in the tournament, as we've got a bit of a how do you do in the middle. Cooler heads prevail.
Boys will be boys.
Yeah, good peacemaking there from Chris Cunning, who's doing the ruck work now with Simnadov for Canada. He's the key to their side. Wright puts his head down. Coming out with the ball is David. His kick out into the wide open spaces of Optus Oval. Getting there first was Teneselek. Great pick up there for Canada. Goes into half forward. But marking on the wing for Samoa is Simon Brown. He just sinks the slipper in and goes as long as he can.
Good kick.
And it's found To'atoa, the captain of Samoa, who laid some very tough tackles in that first quarter. His bouncing ball dribbles out of bounds at half forward for Samoa, but it's the Canadians leading by 14 points. The Samoans yet to score.
We're coming up to the 4-minute mark here of the second quarter. The ball to be thrown in right in front of the Robert Heatley stand, about 20 metres around from the Samoan goal. Umpire has found that there was a leg infringement there, and it looks as though it's going to go to To'atoa.
No, it's against David.
No, it is too. Okay, so Canada now coming back into attack, but cut off at the pass by that man, To'atoa. He's been in everything.
He's lifting.
Certainly is. Right to centre half forward, and a good mark there to Targai. He's only around about 35 metres out. He's almost directly in front. A controlled kick from there would be a certain goal. You see the umpire.
Some heavy work in the goal square there.
Okay, Targai coming in now. Lets one rip as looks as though it's going left. And that will go through for just the one behind. That's the first score on the board to the Samoan side. And it's taken them nearly 5 minutes into the second quarter to get that far.
Yeah, the Canadians have been all over Samoa. But the Samoans look to be settling down. Kick goes to the outer side, and it's a lovely kick too, because it's found Tumac. Ken Tumac moves the ball quickly, goes long to the wing, no mark taken. Ball spills to the back. Little soccer off the ground into half forward. This is Safoa. There's time to pick the ball up. Well, awkward kick into the middle, bouncing ball, but it's all Canada. This is Robinson, the vice captain. He goes long, looking for big Van Gelder. Some heavy work being done, but the Samoans clear through Eturele. And in the middle, there'll be a free kick to go to Tagai. Tagai. And the umpires said there'll be a 25-metre penalty, which will bring him closer to goal. He has the solitary score for Samoa. There he goes inside 50. Awkward bouncing ball though. Ball spills to the back. Clearing kick there for Canada by Leon. Now gathering the ball is Tumac. And a lovely kick. He's found Longan.
Okay, Longan now goes wide down that outer side wing here at Optus Oval, but will find the boundary line. And that'll be a throw. And we're coming up to the 7-minute mark of the quarter. Canada 2-2-14. Samoa with just the one behind on the board. And Steve, I've just been thinking to myself, in general play, the kicking is a lot better than the standard we saw in the game last Wednesday.
Yeah, we did and we should also note that it's pretty slippery out there, so both sides are performing well.
Butcher takes it off the top of the pack there for Canada, squirted forward, but that'll find the boundary line. In fact, it'll be a throw in, only about 3 or 4 metres around from the behind post at the eastern end of Optus Oval here. The ground dimension here, Steve, around about 170 metres by 130 or thereabouts, so it's a big park.
It's a lot bigger than Murphy Reserve Port Melbourne, which is where the tournament started.
It certainly is. Smothered there, Dimikakos. Ball squirt forward, good effort. Butcher has it. Oh, I was going to say has found a teammate. Didn't quite get there to Mintz.
He's got it.
Close, yes he has. David has kicked the goal for Canada. And that certainly now takes Canada on to 3-20, leading Samoa just the one behind. And we're coming up to the 8-minute mark here of the second quarter.
Yeah, I think it was actually Paul Longan who kicked that for Canada.
Okay.
And it was a lovely snap in the pocket there. And it's Canada 3-20, leading Samoa, one behind 1 point. And I'm quite surprised at this result, Bob.
Well, Canada certainly haven't done all that well in the first 2 rounds. Samoa having won a game against Great Britain, but 4 marks for the Canadians. They've taken it right up today, and gee, they've got so far they've got the chocolates.
Big frisk fair there from Cunning. Oh, that should be a free kick, and it is. And it'll go to Langan.
Looks like there's a report too.
Langan,
Steve,
yeah,
card.
well, he was a bit over vigorous with the bump there, Bob. When the player has got his head over the ball, I think he must be protected, and that was slightly dangerous. We've seen a crackdown on that at AFL level. And
do we assume 15 minutes?
Well, one thing we can assume is you can't help yourself when you're not on the paddock, but it's a thumping kick looking for Big Van Gelder at the back who couldn't mark. Soccer off the ground there from Canada into the pocket. That is a wonderful goal.
Longan again.
That is Langan. He's kicked his first. And Canada move now to 4 goals. They move now to 4-26. Leading Samoa, one behind, 25 points the margin.
Wow, well, the Canadians are just steaming ahead. Coming up to the 10-minute mark here of the second quarter. Let's score again, 4-26. Samoa just the one behind.
That is a big lead in these conditions, Bob. Big
Certainly
lead.
is. So the goal kickers for Canada, we have Longman with 1, we have Dimikakos with 1, Van Gelder with 1, and Lagan with 1.
And here they come again out of the middle, the Canadians. Playing well. The score here, and the umpire's seen a push in the back. And it'll go to Canada.
I think Tautua had him around the neck on that occasion, and Falcione has certainly come up with the free kick. Now again, he's only about 35 metres out, 45-degree angle. Good shot. Camera right behind him. Will it come back left? Not quite. It just spins across to the right-hand side, and just the one behind. That takes Canada to 4 goals, 3-27. Samoa 1-1.
Yeah, this is Tenesele to bring it in, and that's a lovely kick. He's found Toa. This is Anthony. Goes for a run, breaks through a tackle, goes with the left out to the wing. Good one-on-one, good mark here to right. Playing well right. Lovely switch of play back to Tenesele. Well, a little kangaroo hop, that was interesting. This kick out to half forward. This is Toa. The captain has a bounce. Now goes short. Bouncing ball. They're under the pump here, Canada. Little handball out. Going without it, there was Malona. Trying to break through tacklers was key, and he's caught holding it. And, well, they're like a pack of hungry dogs, the Canadians, Bob. They are all over Samoa. This is Robinson, who clears, and a good kick too. He's found Tumac. Moving the ball well, Canada.
And he's marking the ball well, Steve, for a rainy day.
Yeah, this is Dimakakos. Goes looking for Van Gelder. Got their hands full, the Samoan defence. They're going in hard. Great pick up there. One way then the other, and caught holding it.
Butcher.
Was Butcher, and it'll be a free kick to Samoa.
He was just a fraction slow on it then, Butcher.
Yeah, this is Safoe.
Sapoe goes wide to the outer wing here at the Optus Oval. In underneath there is Lahane for Canada. Gets the ball forward, just inside 50, a one-on-one contest. Good mark to the Samoan player there. And Samoa now come forward. They're clearing the ball out of that danger zone. Ball player running around, did get around. It's a 1-on-3 and he beat the lot of them. Well done, boy. Up he goes now to the half-forward line, looking there for Wright. But Wright was outrun there on that occasion. Good effort there by the Canadians. Awkward-looking kick, but nevertheless effective. Canada coming back into attack now.
Up well.
They certainly are. Back into 50. Another one-on-one contest. Boy, oh boy, there's nothing asked and nothing given here. Samoa to clear once again, going wide to the 50-metre line on the outer side. To Brown, Simon Brown was in there, very active for the Samoan side. But dropping back there is Mark Van Gelder from the Toronto Eagles. 45-degree angle, 35 metres out.
Well, now it's really coming down.
Boy, oh boy, isn't it ever. Eastern end of the ground here at Optus Oval. Let's see what Mark Van Gelder can do. He's already got one, lets one rip again. Umpire looking straight up, but I think it is just the one behind.
1-2 to Van Gelder now.
1-2 to Van Gelder, that is correct. So that takes Canada on to 4-4. 28 there, leading Samoa, just the one behind. And we're coming up to the 14-minute mark of the quarter. We're on countdown.
This is Tenesele. Goes up the middle, and a good kick too. He's found Anthony Toitoa. Back to Tenesele, who loves to run. Has a bounce, but he's caught by Big Cunning. They're under pressure here, Samoa. This is Anthony Toitoa. He went without it. Little soccer off the ground by Safoe. Let's wait, the umpire's seen a free kick.
Falcione.
The Canadian player was legged, and it'll go to Falcione. Moves the ball quickly, and he's found Robinson, who plays on and kicks another Canadian goal.
Gee, Jason Robinson, the vice captain, made fantastic position on that occasion and certainly didn't waste any time. I'm impressed with the way Canada are playing today, Steve. A good run on footy.
Well, they haven't won a game yet, but they've been close.
They certainly have. And,
well, maybe this big ground suits the Canadians, Bob, because they're full of run.
Yeah, they are. They went down by 8 points to Ireland and 41-27 against PNG. But today they're really serving it up to the Samoan side. 5-4-34 to Samoa, just the one behind. Siren will go any moment. This will almost be the last passage of play. Coming out with it there was Sefor, and there goes the siren. So at half-time in round 3 of this 2005 International, Canada leading 5-4-34 to Samoa, 1 behind. The goal kickers for Canada, Robinson has 1. Longman has 1. We have Dimakakos with 1. Van Gelder with 1 and Lagan with 1. No goal kickers, of course, for the Samoan side. Welcome to quarter number 3 here of the International Series for year 2005. Today we're at Optus Oval for the clash between Canada and Samoa. And at the half-time break, Canada lead 5-4-34 to Samoa, just the one solitary behind. And a good game, Steve?
Yeah, big lead to the Canadians. Let's see if the Samoans can get back into it. It's Cunning who wins the tap. Quick kick out of the middle to the wing. This is Tenesele. Little Robinson being absolutely everything. His handball out in the space. Tenesele. Good handball over the top to Tugger. So a 33-point here, Canadians. Cunning. No free kick to Samoa. Free kick forward there for Samoa by Keresome. Bouncy ball across half-back. Need a goal here, Samoa, to get back into this. Plenty of Canadian defenders there. Little soccer off the ground there from Logal. Trying to burst through.
I think it's key.
Yeah, trying to burst through for Samoa there was key, but he couldn't do it, and it'll be a free kick on half-back for Canada by Longan.
So Canada now, they go wide to the outer side, but switch play back towards that 50-metre square in the centre of the ground here at Optus Oval. Canada now, right in the middle of the 50-metre square. Butcher takes it for Canada, goes forward, but Canada being dispossessed. Bang, out there goes the big fella in Corey Somay. For Samoa, he gets it forward, half-forward flank, outer side of the ground. Not raining at the moment, but ground is slippery. Players handling the conditions fairly well, though, particularly the Canadians, and they'll ease the pressure down there. I think it might have been Lahane that come out with it there. For Canada, they're wide on the outer side. Canada still in control. Hands forward there by Butcher.
Yeah,
ball
slippery.
close to the boundary line. Oh, a good one-handed pick up there by the Samoan boy. Wheels around at his left foot, brings it back in towards that centre square line. And Safori been in everything in the first half of the game for Samoa.
Well, that's got to be 25. Got to be
Takes a good
25.
mark. Certainly has. Good call. So Samoa now with a real chance, I feel, of scoring their first goal of the game. As you can see, Sifor is certainly going to kick from just on 50. Bit hard to tell, Steve, which way the breeze is actually blowing. I think it's gusting, if anything. Sifor, what started off as a torp, I think, but didn't quite finish up that way. And as you can see, it went over the boundary line, missed everything by about 15 metres. And it'll be a throw-in.
Yeah, the arcs here are a true 50 metres, whereas at Murphy Reserve they were 40 metres, so players need to make a mental note of that, as it's big cunning in the ruck. It's done well since Simmet went off. This is Toa. Snap into the centre. Mark taken there by Leon. In fact, the umpire's seen a free kick. And it'll go to Canada. And it looks like it'll go to the skipper. This is Stefan Leon.
Goal kickers for Canada in the first half. Robinson got one, Longden got one, Demakakos one, Van Gelder one, and Lagan one.
Yeah, in the meantime, the ball has worked its way to the other end of the field. How that happened, I do not know, but we're going to have to do it all again from the back pocket. And that's a big lead to Canada, 5-4-34, leading Samoa. One behind 1 point. Kick in there by Stefan Leon. That's a half back. Little soccer off the ground there by McElwain. Good handball there, looking for Butcher. Safire with him. Gee, magnificent pickup there by
Demakakos.
Two Demakakoses in this Canadian side. Handed by David to Simon Brown. Oh, a big collision. Tai kept his feet well. Safire's in there. Great tackle put on. Has the umpire seen this one? Will be a free kick to Tai. This is Fia Tai, the captain of the Samoan side. Pretty good second term. Lovely kick. And he's found the leading Ma'alona. And they need a goal here, Bob, desperately.
Well, this second shot from around about the 50 they've had in the last 2 minutes. We're coming up to the 5-minute mark of the quarter. Not a long kick, 50 metres. As we've said a couple of times, not raining at the moment, but the ball would be getting a little bit heavy. Good long kick from the 50, right to the top of the goal square, but a good mark to Cunning. The big Canadian right on the full back line. He's the vice-captain from the Toronto Dingoes. And Chris Cunning now. About to bring the ball back in. Oh, awkward-looking kick. When it goes short, didn't come off. Did not come off. And Mahalorna just stepped in there and said thank you very much. And the Samoans now to have their third shot from 50 in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, Paul Mahalorna runs around for a Eastern Football League team there, Bob.
I noticed that
Noble
for Noble
Park.
Park, one that we know very well, Steve.
Defending
Paul
premiers.
Mahalorna. Here he goes. That's one ripped to the top of the goal square. Umpire just looks back over the head. That's the first goal of the game for Paul Mahalorna of the Samoan side. They now go to 1-1-7, trailing Canada 5-4-34.
Well, to say that was a much-needed goal was an understatement. But they probably need the next couple too, Bob, to get right into this.
Well, they've certainly shown a bit more endeavour, Steve, in this third quarter. We're at the 6.5 minute mark than they showed in the first half of the game. The ball back in the middle. Optus Oval is the venue.
So David giving away a lot of height to Canning, but the umpire seen a centre square infringement, and will go to Canada and Big Canning. He's a huge man, Bob.
Isn't he ever? Awkward kick.
Goes wide to the wing, and it's a good kick too because he's found Mintz. They've looked to move the ball quickly today, the Canadians. The umpire's seen a free kick, and it'll go to Tenisele, I think. Plays on. In fact, the umpire said you played it in front of your mark, so we'll bring it back. He's been close to their best player today, Tenisele.
Tenisele has, I think, Sephora's been in everything too. They probably are the two standouts. Mintz very active in the first quarter for Canada, quiet the second quarter. Interested to see whether he can come back into it.
So Tenisele, corner square defensive side. And the umpire's seen a push, and it'll go to the skipper, Pia Toa.
Against McElwain.
And another goal here would make it interesting. Toa moves it quickly, and a beautiful pass there. He's found Mahalorna, who's kicked one, and he'll go back and have a shot for his second about 35 metres out, 45-degree angle.